Hi, quick video today on this Britannia T190 to show you how you can clean and maintain the machine so that it keeps working in the best way possible. So we all know we get lots of fluff and lint and dust and things that kind of accumulates around here by the needle and the needle plate, so we need to keep it clean. So you can need your screwdriver and your cleaning brush that come with the machine, and you're going to want to turn your power off so that you don't hurt yourself. There we go. And then you're going to come down here to the needle plate, and you're going to take the foot off first of all, just to get it out of the way. So you can take the needle out as well if you want to, but I normally find if I just raise the needle it's not kind of too in the way for me. And then you're going to use your small screwdriver just to take out the two screws that hold the needle plate in position. And they should come out fairly easily. And then here's a little tip that my dad taught me. Use a little magnet. So if you've got a fridge magnet, that would work. I use the magnets that come on the whiteboard in the classroom here, and you just attach your screws to the magnet and it stops them from rolling around on the table and ending up on the floor. My dad was an engineer. He taught me lots of handy little tips. Thanks, Dad. There we go. And then you can lift the cover down and just gently lift the needle plate out of the way, and it should just completely come off. Now this is all covered in your manual at the end of the manual as well, so don't be too scared of doing this. When you take the bobbin out, the bobbin housing is going to come out as well. Don't panic, it's supposed to do that. You can just pull that out, and then you're going to want to use your brush, and I've just zoomed in here so you can see. So this is the needle threader mechanism, sorry, the thread cutter mechanism, and it does just tend to get little bits of thread after a while, will kind of get gunged up in there, and if you don't clean them out like that, then eventually it's going to stop the thread cutter from working properly. So you need to give a really good brush around and get into all the crevices. Now this machine does not need oiling. If you have an older machine and you're used to oiling your machine, you haven't got to do that with this machine. You just need to get in and give it a really good clean out all around with the brush is the best way of doing it. So at home I have a little mini vacuum cleaner that I use. You want to get the fluff out. What you don't want to do is push it in, so you don't want to use like compressed air canisters or anything like that to brush the fluff out of the way. You just blow it further back into the housing of the machine. You want to get it out. So using a brush, or like I say, a little mini vacuum cleaner, suck all the fluff out. And then this is the bobbin housing. You're going to give that a little clean as well. There we go. And you do want to make sure that you don't damage the fluffy bits. There's one bit on the housing and there's one bit here by the thread trimmer. People often see them and think that's not supposed to be there and start trying to remove it. That is supposed to be there, so do make sure you leave them where they are. And then to pop this back in again, the silver bit at the bottom should be smiling towards you. It's difficult sometimes to know the orientation, but the silver bit needs to be at the bottom, and then sometimes you just need to give it a little jiggle until it kind of falls into place. And these two sections, this little black bump needs to push up against the metal bit here at the bottom, and it looks like it's in, but as you can see it's slightly off balance, so I'm just going to lift the right side back into position. Now it's level either side, so I'll just do that again. So that's what it looked like it was in, but it's not. If you give it a little click, it does just kind of pop back in, so it's level. If you don't put the bobbin housing back in properly, your machine isn't going to work properly. And then this on the needle plate pops in on the left and then clips down on the right. It should just slot into place, and then you're going to want to get your screws back off the magnet and pop them back in again. So a lot of people are a little bit apprehensive of doing this. The idea of getting a screwdriver to your brand new sewing machine can be a little bit apprehensive, but honestly it's something you have to do to keep the machine working properly, so do get used to doing it. I clean my machine, I sew quite regularly. I clean my machine after every big project. Certainly if it starts to have a problem with skip stitches or anything like that, you need to give it a good clean as well. And then I tend to make a note. I use masking tape attached to the back of my machine. It'll make a note of the date that I last cleaned it, and then pop the bobbin cover off so that you can put the bobbin back in again. And that's it. There we go, and then the cover back on, and then you just need to reattach your press foot, thread through the middle of the foot and out to the back, and there you go, power back on. Lovely, and your machine's ready to sew again. So there we go. That should have covered everything over for you. Like I say, if you look after your machine, it will look after you. We'll see you soon. Bye.